احنا بقى ربنا احنا عندنا 50,000 وظيفة في الاتحاد الأوروبي مش عارف
التنسيق بينهم جيد يعني بنحس ان في
لا هي الكلام ده مش في ورق رسمي اصلا الكلام كله رسمي يتم
تقول من اكثر القضايا اللي صارت كانت في السوق المصري في الفترة
يعني هي معادلة صعبة ولكن انا بقول الانسان دايما يعني.
مشاهدينا الاعزاء اهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجنا كلام في التكنولوجيا. ضيفنا لهذه الحلقة هو السيد دومينيك مبان المستشار التجاري ورئيس البعثة الاقتصادية لسفارة فرنسا في مصر. Welcome sir to CITTV channel.
It's a pleasure to see you here in the Mission Économique Publique France. It's a pleasure to welcome you.
The pleasure is ours. Please, sir, can you introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us more about your background as a commerce counselor?
Yes, thank you so much. I am Dominique Maupin. I am the director of Mission Économique Publique France here in Egypt, and I was posted here last September 2010. We are, because there is a team with me, I'm not acting only myself, and we have a team, and we are dedicated here to attract more and more French firms so they can work and make business on the Egyptian market. This is why we exist. Our aim is every year to try to increase the capacity of the French firm to export to the Egyptian market. And when you want to export to a market, you have also to invest in this market. So that's why we are there.
Okay.
Our team and our office, name of it, as I said, Mission Économique Publique France in Egypt, is directly related to the French agency UbiFrance, which is the agency for the promotion of French exportation and French investment abroad. And it is a group of 13 people, and we are organized in what we call sectorial manner. That is, we are organized to focus on the different level of activity or domain of activity of the Egyptian market. For instance, as you can see, we have what we call a sector department in terms of agriculture and agro-business. We have another department in the domain of industry, infrastructure, and transport, and so on. And we have, because we will be speaking of this today, we have of course a department specifically for the new technology, and among them technology of information and communication.
Okay.
That's what we are.
We'll come to this later, but first, you know, as an economic expert, can you tell us how do you see the Egyptian market and the Egyptian economy after the 25th of January revolution?
This is a good question, because what are we doing? With whom are we working? We are working with entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We are working with people that want to do business,
Yes.
and they want to meet with other entrepreneurs, Egyptian entrepreneurs. And of course, the economic framework is important, the political framework is important. But at the end of the day, is there some business to be done in Egypt or not?
But
This is it.
old entrepreneurs now are very skeptical about the Egyptian market and its stability. So what is UbiFrance's role in encouraging them to come in Egypt and do business?
I'll tell you what we are thinking about this. We are not to say or to draw a sort of unrealistic landscape of the situation for our French entrepreneurs. We are here to say the truth. The truth is that the entrepreneurs, whether they are French or from other countries, they need first to have a vision and understanding of the Egyptian market, the Egyptian market of today, not the one yesterday, not the one before the revolution.
Indeed.
So they need information first. We have a role, very important, in terms of giving new information about the new situation. I will come back to that. And second, we have to know what are the actors in the markets today and tomorrow in Egypt, and maybe not those of the past.
Yes.
This is 2 points: to know the information of the actual market today, and to know and be in a position to meet the actors of today or tomorrow actors. and not to be stuck with maybe those of the past. Two things.
Yes.
So if we are in a capacity to do so, then we can think of doing business with Egypt. We have for this program for this second semester of 2010, and of course already working for a program in 2012. What about information? Today,
Yes. What you
of
tell
course, today the market is very low.
Okay.
The market is very low for reason of a level of activity which has decreased, which is beneath the normal level, and this is a fact. The fact is that in every sector, or almost every sector, there is a reality that it's under the level
Yes,
of
there's no doubt,
previous
of course.
years. First. Second point, of course, politically, there is an agenda.
Yes.
For the moment, the government is a transition government,
Yes.
and everybody is pleased to know that there will be election in the beginning of the second semester, so that the situation get a higher level of visibility and ability to take decision. For the moment, the market is low. The ability of the public or private sector to take decision, orientation, or even to sign for a new
Yes.
contract is very
Yes.
very low. Is very difficult to
Yes.
see through. Yeah? So that is the point. But of course,
How do you expect this period to last?
this period has to be, we have to go for the end of the transition period politically, and then it will open the gate for a new level of activity in terms of the economy and the commercial activity. So really, the one of the passage to be is the second semester with the election.
Okay.
This is it. But then the market in some sectors more rapidly than others. For instance, it's for sure in the domain of the sector of the technology of information technology and communication. Even the young, more than even the others, are crazy to get to know things,
Yes.
to be in a position to exchange, to use a new kind of design, new products, even new trademark. This is the desire of the young population. But the young population, and everybody can be still young, even 30, 40 years old, depending. Your viewers or those who read your newspaper, they have been very active during the last months. These people will impulse, a new need for new image, new support, new usage of the support of the information and transmission of information, which means that this sector, maybe more than others, is going to recover more rapidly and to diversify more maybe than others. We believe this. And this, I can talk later about that point.
As a French citizen, tell us how France sees the 21st of January revolution and the role the young people have done to achieve this revolution.
We, as Mission Économique Vie France, we don't have, and we are not here to formulate a political opinion about the way Egypt is doing its own view or its own organization, but we are here to understand what are the possibilities and the evolution of the market. Speaking about that, as I said, the revolution will only accelerate one thing which was already moving in Egypt. It is the diversification of consumption in Egypt. This is a trend which is a very profound trend. The fact that the population and part of the population is in desire of diversity in
Yes.
the way diversity in terms of products, as I said, diversity in terms of design, diversity in terms of way of using things, diversity in terms of the way they look like ready to wear garments and things like that. There is a very strong, deep current for new things here. The revolution, for a moment, has stopped the capacity of this trend to get a concrete illustration. But on the other side, the revolution will accelerate this this kind of consumption, the desire for that kind of consumption. The desire is one thing. Of course, there has been a revolution, there has been a political revolution, which is still on. There is an economical revolution, transition, as we said. And the idea is, how is this economical transition going to evolve rapidly after the election? We think that maybe one of the one of the great orientation is to look at the way the people are going to consume. Maybe there will be new capacity to consume after the revolution, because social aspects are also being that way, as you know. So we have a great expectation in this domain. New way of consuming. I'll give you two illustrations. Speaking of the French presence here on the Egyptian market, two illustrations. Even during the transition period. I'm speaking of last week, and Hassan Benali, he knows very well this, he was also at the inauguration. We have had last week two inaugurations of two new French firms here on the Egyptian market. What are they, these French firms? What are they selling?
Yes, what they are saying.
They are selling, the first one is selling products for the dining and for the dining room. That is everything which has to do with cutlery, pots, glasses, what we call les arts de la table.
Okay.
The firm is Guy de Graine. Guy de Graine is a famous brand in France and worldwide about les arts de la table. Products so you can prepare and where you are going to eat. Well, they have opened here a franchise on the Egyptian market. Not
in this transitional period.
In this transition period, because they believe in what I was telling you, that there are evolution in the way the people they want to live, in the way they want to consume. It's not just the product, it's just the environment also. So they have opened a franchise in New Cairo, and they will develop, and then we are going to sell Guy de Graine products here in the Egyptian market. And even we are still in the transition period. We are acting because we believe in the diversification of the way the Egyptians are going to consume today and tomorrow. Second example, I was telling you, there's a new in the everything which has to do, which is linked with the person, the way you are. There has been again, it is also a franchise by the French firm 5 à Sec. It's a firm who's cleaning the garments, what you are wearing, the dress, the suits, everything. The master franchiseur, donc 5 à Sec, give an open franchise here. Last week it was in Mahdi, last week. A new shop for the service to the people. These are exactly what I said, related to a higher level of comfort in life. It's not luxury, we are not speaking of luxury. We are speaking of living better, desire to consume in a different manner, with an environment which is different. And so, these are reality. The revolution is a reality. The market is low, but it doesn't mean it's closed. And these two examples I've given to you are illustration that we are still working. We hope to do more tomorrow, but today we are continuing working on the market.
In the context of this commitment to the Egyptian market, we know that you will be participating in Cairo ICT exhibition as a guest of honor. Tell us, what's your aim in participating in this fair?
This sector of activity, communication, information technology, is specific. I've already told why. It is the means to convey information, to allow debate, to make things more in the presence of the people, so they can technology to reach the information, technology to reach the people, technology to be in a way to create network for people to exchange. So it is a specific sector. In this sector, also the activity is low to a certain extent. Yes. Because, for instance, the tourist industry has decreased a lot. There are less tourists for the moment. And of course, the communication level is lower, speaking of this part of the activity. But on the other side, this is also where we have great expectations, and the market was very rich before the revolution. The increase of the market was in average around 13–15% increase per year, which is a good level of increase, as you know. And in this domain, of course, we will be present in Cairo ICT. France will be guest of honor of this big event, an international exhibition in this domain in the International Exhibition Center in Cairo. France has decided with the organizer to have a great presence, great in the fact that we are going to have 10 French firms during this, on our pavilion, during this week, next week, on Cairo ICT, 10 French firms, and 8 of them are not yet on the market, which is what we are there for. We are there to attract new French firms so they can position.
How will you attract them? What you will tell
well,
them about
what are we doing?
the market?
We are doing exactly working in a way that first we have to invest on the market. As I said, we have to get in a position, in possibility to get the knowledge of what is the market today and tomorrow. So,
okay.
And second, as I said, we have to know about the new actors of the market, if there are any. So just now, with my team and with, of course, in discussion with our agency in Paris, we have organized what we are saying post-revolution plan of action, which is exactly first to try to meet during the coming weeks, and already we have started in the coming months, more than 100 operators, Egyptian operators on the Egypt market, to know what is the situation today, and to know them. Some of them are new operators, new actors. In Cairo ICT, we are guest of honor. We have our 10 French firms. We will be, of course, in great presence for the inauguration, with the presence of the ministers, Minister of Telecommunication, Minister of Industry and Foreign Trade. And more, maybe more relevant for our French firm, we are organizing for every one of our French firms a specific program of B2B meeting during these 4 days of the event.
With the local companies?
With more than 100 local companies here.
Okay.
We are trying, how are we helping the French firm to do business? We are organizing for every firm maybe 12, 15 meeting B2B,
okay.
and they will see this possible partner prospect. And
how do you select the local companies that want to participate in these B2B meetings?
this is a heavy lot of work to do,
okay.
but it has to be done. The fact that preparing this program means that, of course, we have already those we have met for this program of going and seeing 100 new operators. Also, we have our database,
okay.
and we are getting in touch. We write, we email, we phone, we are even user of this kind of technology, and we contact everybody, and we will not take everybody that just say yes.
Yes.
We will say yes for the meeting.
What are the requirements you want in these local companies?
This is it, because you don't want just to have a French firm and an Egyptian firm saying, yes, okay, we will meet. No, we want them to meet, but if they have a common drive.
Yes.
So we have to know very well, and we do know very well what the French firm they want. They want to position a new product, they want to be the support of a new technology, they want to enlarge their position in the region. They are already maybe in Dubai, they are not in Egypt. So that's what the French firm want. What does the Egyptian firm want? Do they want just to increase the number of their exporters? That this is not just good for us. We want the Egyptian firm. Okay, if the Egyptian firm wants to complement the kind of product they already sell with other products of a higher position in terms of the way the technical capability, or they want to position themselves on a bracket of prices they don't have yet.
Okay.
That is good. But so we will not satisfy ourselves by yes, I want to see the French firm. You want to see the French firm, but what is your reason? And then we will verify if the reason of the Egyptian possible partner meet the expectation of the French firm. This is our job.
Okay.
This is the job of my colleagues.
So tell us more about the French companies in the RTC sector. We already know Orange and France Telecom is the biggest shareholder in Mobile. Tell us more about the other 9 companies that will be participating in the exhibition.
Okay, we have companies who are different in terms of size, in terms of products, or in terms even of technology, kind of technology they want to bring to the market here. I can mention, for instance, we have companies who are there who have developed new software.
Okay.
They want to sell and to get their software on the market, but in specific niche of the market, like for instance, and it is very important in Egypt, the tourist industry.
Okay.
How are you going to technically, in terms of the computer, in terms of how you will use the data, how to optimize what you can take from the data?
Okay.
They have developed this software. They want to bring that product to this tourist industry in Egypt. Another one, for instance, is, and this is very important, what we call the mapping software. Mapping software,
Yes.
you want to localize, you want to to localize, but also on a constant, real, at every moment you want to know what is happening with, for instance, the trajectory of a vehicle, or you want exactly to be in a position to send information on what is today the situation in terms of climate over one position. Mapping software industry, this is important. Geolocalization, this is important. So this is a company who is going to work on this and have a presentation. We have other companies. We have companies who want to maybe participate in the opening of the communication activity in Egypt. You have radio, you have TV, you have site, you have newspapers, and maybe this reality is moving post-revolution. Yes. So we have companies who want to be partners in that, or operators in this, in the new ways of larger opening of communication sector. We have a company, yes, they want to secure more and more the activity of the banks. We call it e-security, the internet security. So these are kind of the position of our, in terms of products or in terms of activity of this 8 French companies coming from France, and of course the other 2 from here. As I said, we have also a large bank here. We will be partner of our Pavillon France, and we have the company Laqofas. Laqofas, the insurance for business company, worldwide known, and partner of all the efforts of the French government in terms of promotion of French exportation. And again, today things are difficult. The money is scarce in Egypt. The money is scarce. So you want to do business, but you want to secure your business. So you need to also use, maybe more than before, the kind of products of guarantee that COFAS is offering to the market.
Okay, so in the other sectors, can you tell us about the overall investment of France in Egypt?
Well, the general imagined reality is that France is a very is a great partner in terms of investment in Egypt. Historically speaking, and even more and more during the recent years, France has been among the first investors in Egypt.
Okay.
Number 3, number 4 in terms of those who invest in Egypt. So we are very much present.
And have these investments decreased significantly?
They do have decreased for the reason that the firm, they have, most of them, like Egyptian firms, foreign firms, they have stopped their investment.
Okay.
They have postponed the program of investment. So there has been a decrease of foreign investment in Egypt. You know that.
Yes.
Every one of the persons who are listening to this program know that. And but with the government, with the GAFI, the General Authority for Investment and Prison here, Egyptian institution, and the fact that when the sky will open and give a higher level of clarity, we are in the understanding that things will start again. Will start again once also the public partner will be able to take decision.
Yes.
Again, we're coming back to the election, post-election. But the French investment is a great partner. The French firm, they have not ceased their activity during the revolution and during the transition period here. We have not left the market, the Egyptian market. We have not abandoned the Egyptian market. We are just, like many others, freezing the investment for the moment. Others, and I don't want to really, but there are cases where others might have left the market. We are not doing this because our strategy is not to work on a punctual point. We are working on a medium long-term basis.
Okay.
We are working in sort of atmosphere of partnership with Egyptian partners. You cannot really want to work alone on a market. It's too difficult. You don't get all the information. So it's much more clever. And also for the climate of the business is better to have this kind of strategy, working on a medium long term. For the moment, investment has been frozen. Things will start again when they will, and there you will see again that France is among the first partners of Egypt business.
We hope so. One last question to you, Sir. Can you tell us more about your plan for 2012 and how France and French will support Egypt in these critical times in terms of commerce, what I'm speaking about?
Yes. Speaking of 2012, I had that just a paper. Well, I'll tell you. We have this year, 2011, we have a program, and part of the events we have had to postpone them for the second semester. Here again, we don't have. We are just postponing. We will do the whole of our program in 2011. But 2, 3, 4 of our operation, we have maybe 12 big collective operations, have been postponed until second semester.
Okay.
For 2012, in which way are we building our program? We take into consideration 3 points. First point, we will take what are the needs of the Egyptian markets, whether they are private needs, whether there are public project needs like infrastructure, cleaning of water, sector of energy. So the needs of the Egyptian markets is our first criteria. Second point, we take into consideration, is there new things in terms of access to the market? For instance, the law and the framework of how to enter for, if you are exporter of meat, say you are a French breeder, you want to export your beef, whether it is alive or already dead. Before, and for reason of disease and so on, it was not allowed. The framework has changed now, de nouveau, Egyptian market is open. So we take into consideration new situation. This is what I'm saying. And third point, we take into consideration the French excellency in various domains. What are our strong points? And à partir de, from these three criteria, we are building our program. That's what we did for 2011, and that's what we are working upon for 2012. Recently, as I said, preparing the future, acting in the present moment. Acting in the present moment, I've told you, opening of 2 franchise
Yes.
here, trademark. Recently, because Mission Économique Ubi-France, of course, is the French agency, Ubi-France, part, in a way, of the the Ministry of Economic, of Industry and Foreign Trade. Recently, we have had the visit of Monsieur Lelouch,
Okay.
our Secretary of State for Foreign Trade.
Okay.
He was there 2 weeks ago. He was there because, why was he there? Because he wants the Egyptian to know we are a great partner, we want to do more, and we are ready to listen to what are the actual needs of the Egyptian. So he was there. Previously was the visit of our Minister for Foreign Affairs, Monsieur Juppé. So we are politically present, technically, like Mission Économique or the French Embassy, but others can speak about that. We are there. We are trying to know what is the new reality for us, our plan d'action, as I said, for us building our programs with this kind of criteria, and we will be acting. Our aim is to bring more than 100 firms in 2012 on the Egyptian market with the help of the team of Mission Économique Ubi-France. That's what we are working upon, and that's what we are doing day after day.
This is a very ambitious plan, and we wish you all the success in bringing more French companies to work and invest here. Mr. Mopar, thank you very much for joining us on CIT's channel, and we wish you all the success in your coming plans.
That's very kind of you. Thanks very much. It was indeed very great to be in a position to express a few points on this domain. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
يعني انا بامانه ربنا حتى بالسؤال احنا عندنا 50,000 وظيفه في الاتحاد الاوروبي مش عارف
التنسيق بينهم جيد، يعني بنحس ان في عمل.
لا هي الكلام ده مفيش فيه ورق رسمي اصلا، الكلام كله رسمي بيتم.
تقدر تقول من اكثر القضايا اللي صارت كانت في السوق المصري
يعني هي معادله صعبه، ولكن انا بقول الانسان دايما يعني